one card actually makes a huge difference, right? If you're playing a zombie child to play against aggro compared to playing something a bit higher, like I don't know, like a Ysera, for example, that makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And the players have jumped right into game one. So we'll be taking a look at their cards right here. And both players going with Warrior to start things off. What do you feel about, or how do you feel about Warrior starts in a best of tournament like this?
Well, they're both playing Paladin and they're both playing Druid, so I think they just want the Warrior to like sneak up a win.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not really sure I like both the Warrior picks, to be honest. Like, I would have started something like Druid if I am
Right.
Faramir, because there is also a priest, so you're actually like targeting a lot of stuff, right? But if I am Kunzi, I wouldn't start with Druid because there's a shaman. But they both started Warrior, so it's kind of like the safe pick, I guess, because Warrior is just 40% against everything, and in the mirror match, then the better player usually wins.
Right on. And of course, Control Warrior, our favorite matchup by everyone who's ever watched Hearthstone, because we get to see tons of hero powers being used and turns being passed in the early portion of the game. The
Mhm.
mulligans have already got by for both players, and I think we're actually just gonna probably see some mirror plays here for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, usually you just don't put a naked acolyte out there for no reason because it just trades really inefficiently with 4-axe. But
Hmm.
feels like he kind of needs to fish a few more cards. The armor stuff is actually pretty good here because like it doesn't die to the axe, right? Warrior matchups are very simple. You just need to have cards that trade 2 for 1, and every time you do
Hmm.
that, you gain 1 resource advantage, and
Right.
the more resource advantage you get, better you are off.
Yep. And of course, a second acolyte also in hand for Faramir, so that's something to look forward to on turn 5, maybe with the Taskmaster. Guarantee at least 2 draws off of that. Kunzi looks to be considering coining out the Lotheb.
Uh, yeah, it seems like that. Um,
And
it could be good, it could be bad. The only real play that you lose to is exactly what Faramir has in his hand. Acolyte plus the Taskmaster, right? So that's unfortunate. Like Lothep, even though it did miss on the effects because you do want Lothep to stay on the board,
mhm,
uh, it's still a 5/5 in the end. It's still something.
yeah. And Kunzi really didn't have too many options there, obviously putting out the Despite at that point. What is the most optimal?
So it's funny because Kunzi can actually use execute here. I wouldn't be that sad if he uses execute here. Just to like it's basically removing 1 extra resource because you're expecting your
Yeah.
activates to always draw cards. But the problem with that play is that he doesn't get to develop a Belcher basically. Usually you can play this matchup a bit slower. I think if I was in Kunzi, I would actually execute the acolyte, especially if two executes and a shield slam.
Yeah. Exactly. You have so much of your removal already in hand, and there isn't another glaring play that's staring you in the face in your hand. So I
Mm-hmm.
think definitely think through his options, but that seems to be the most probable here. Or considering the Sledge Belcher too, but at that point it's still just the acolyte's gonna trade unless he's gonna clear the acolyte here first. Yeah, there we go.
But you have to kill the acolyte because you can't
Yeah.
really play again. You just have to kill it. It has more attack. And now already we see that the resource is swinging to like Faramir's favor a lot.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, very clear card advantage, or in hand, and then also they execute on the Lotheb.
Yep, that's pretty good. I do like that. Wow. Uh Shield block actually makes it so Kunzi has something to do this turn, which is pretty good draw, I have to say. Otherwise his
Yeah.
turn would have been looking really bad. Like if he drew something a legendary basically, he would have actually had a terrible turn.
Yeah,
But
there was.
whoa. Oh wow. He just wants to develop the Despites to set up for the Acolyte. Now
I guess
that's
so. Um,
that's interesting.
it's it feels a little bit. I mean, I can't even say it feels. It's clearly a little bit riskier. I think the Shield Block Shield Slam was the go-to play. I agree.
Uh-huh.
But we do see Harrison in hand for Faramir, so if he wants to get rid of that early, and that's going to allow him to clear the main body of the Belcher too.
Well, he kills the whole body if he wants, because the slime trades in.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but he should Harrison first before trading in because he wants the extra armor. But man, this is like, this is pretty nightmare situation for Kunzi. Ooh, okay, I guess that's fine too. He missed out on a little bit of armor with this play. He actually missed out on one armor, right? Not just one armor, but still. One armor.
It could make the whole game turn at the end.
Well, I wouldn't say with the whole game turn, right? But it's still you kind of want that one armor.
Yeah. Well, now the shield block, the shield slam's still there. See what he draws.
Definitely playing from behind. Yeah, it's not comfortable to be in Kunzi's spot right now because now Dr. Broom is gonna come out. It's just super hard to deal with. Whoa! Faramir chooses not to Dr. Broom yet. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean he's so far ahead. I think he's okay with going just a little bit of a slower route here.
Well, it's more like the Shield Maiden actually chips off more armor first. Then Dr. Broom gets well, Dr. Broom gets punished anyways if you play him. You get what I mean? Like if your opponent has a BGH or your opponent has a brawl, they always have that until they actually play that card. So maybe Faramir values the armor up a little bit more, but the both is okay. But then yeah, over at Kunzi side, you just have to like remove stuff right now. So Shield Maiden should be dropping out here. We should see a Shield Slam, and if he's not gonna execute the Armor Swift like previous turns, you're probably not gonna do it now. And I obviously do not want the execute to happen here. Executing Armor Swift is pretty bad.
Yeah, and that is also his only execute left now. So having saved that up early, maybe bit him a little bit. At this point, it doesn't really matter. He's in the same boat anyway. Acolyte and Shield Slam only. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to get more value from the Armor Swift, for example, because now the Acolyte is like threatening to draw a card from the Armor Swift, but then we do have the answer, which is the Axe. But now Kunzi has an answer. He has the Brawl, and usually in Warrior it's really hard to use Brawl effectively. So I think we're gonna see a Brawl turn.
Yeah, and that's what you were talking about on the previous turn, is that Brawl is often there, the BGH is there, and we've seen Kunzi, he drew that a little bit earlier, so we'll see that come through. And
but it's gonna, oh wow.
Wow.
That is pretty sad. You know why? Because the armor actually gets wrecked. Oh, okay, at least not all the armor is gonna get wrecked.
Yeah.
So there is a Shield Slam, but man, that is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's still an extra resource you had to use to actually get rid of that big body, so.
And Ragnaros is the best draw right now. Like, you just remove all the armor from your opponent, but I'm pretty sure Kunzi already used 2 Shield Slams, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he has that one execute left, but no way to trigger that.
Wow. Okay, so what happens when you get ragged? Chobra, what happens when you have a rag, and what happens when you get ragged and you're super behind in the game?
I mean, well, we could go for the rag wars here.
You YOLO rag and you pray.
You gotta.
Yeah, you have to pray. You're like so far behind. You're like 20 armor behind, and
oh, well, the dream ended very, very quickly there.
It's just pretty gross. So yeah, Faramir is just gonna ride the rag, and now anytime you draw Grommash, he's just gonna threaten lethal from now on. Like Faramir's opening is really good as well, so it's pretty sick. Okay, Taskmaster is something. You can remove the rag now. You can play a Shield Maiden. It's not that bad, but look at Faramir's hand. Like, it's pretty insane. You got Desperate to keep on whittling down the armor. So then, yeah, it depends on kind of what you want to play. Oh my god. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. I was saying it depends on how slow or fast you want to take it, because like you have to like draw Grommash. But I
Right.
guess it doesn't matter if you draw Grommash immediately.
Yeah, I was just trying to calculate the best way to chip things down with the Dustbite too, but things working out for Faramir near the end. I mean, also in the
Hmm. I want the
yeah, I was gonna.
priest to. I definitely want the priest to hit the shaman. So I'm pretty sure I either go with druid or pally, and
Okay,
side of the druid. I guess
makes
druid does have a
sense.
better matchup against the instead of the paladin, just because you have like innervates and you have like the combo.
Right.
Yeah, it's generally pretty good. Did Kunzi decide to keep the shredder there? That is an interesting choice.
Yeah, and his other mulligans also just ended up giving him all his endgame stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To bring
That
him
is a
rags.
very
So.
interesting choice. If you decide to keep a shredder in a druid, you just want to fish for the cards, right? And man, this is a very slow start from the druid player. Faramir is going to establish some semblance of a board.
Yeah. He could go about it a couple ways here,
Yeah.
but
I just think double armor surf is just really strong. You really just
yeah.
want to the armor. And hitting your own armor surf is always vulnerable to Wrath. So you don't really want that. Oh my god, another draw for Kunzi. It's just really sad.
Yeah, this from the get-go, and the shredder keep we haven't looked at the entire deck list yet, but a little questionable. But considering that Kunzi hasn't played anything else yet, Faramir feels a little bit more comfortable, and he has 2 armor smiths on board, so he gets the extra armor too.
Yeah, this
With
Taskmaster is really important. So give like look at this board against the with a warrior. Usually they do not have any board presence, and if they have board presence, that makes it even harder to kill them because after they play their tiny minions, all they have in their hand are spells to like remove stuff. Right? Look at that. That's another Dustbite. Like that's called. It's kind of like a lucky top deck, but at the same time, Farmi had other answers even if he didn't draw a Dustbite.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is also terrible.
Wow.
My God.
Even the cards from the shredder not coming in favor for Kunzi, and
Yeah.
I mean that armor smith is now one of the more threatening things that he's seen.
Yeah. Charge is definitely correct.
Charge, yeah.
Guarantee a card draw. But the only thing worse than like a light well would be like a flame tongue totem. So yeah, because you got pretty unlucky there, I guess. Or like a low chill or something.
Alright, well, I mean, Faramir has several answers here. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and hit it with the weapon. Wants to keep his other cards for other combo possibilities. And just
Brawl
going
is,
for the extra.
yeah, Brawl is pretty dead card. So weird.
Yeah, but
you never really see Warrior of board control.
yeah, it's kind of odd. But
So
we're finally
like...
going into turn 7. Yeah.
Yeah, no, turn 6, unfortunately. Turn 7
turn 6 for now, yeah.
Turn 6 kind of sucks. So it's probably a Shredder and Hero Power down to 2-1. It's funny because the Druid is playing like it's a Warrior, and the Warrior is playing like a Druid.
Yeah, exactly. It feels a little flipped.
Like, kind of weird.
And good news on Kunzi's side for now is that the turn 6 is also pretty dead from Faramir, considering what he has in hand at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be his chance to try to climb back in. Not a ridiculous amount of armor compared to the first game, at least. On Faramir.
Definitely manageable. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, sure, the Shredder would have been traded, but again, you would be the one with a minion left on board, right? So.
Right. That is really interesting.
I'm inclined to agree with what you thought would have been an ideal play there, but we'll see.
Right.
Kunzi, he kept a Shredder in the opening hand, and now he's kind of treasuring that, trying to stay alive an extra turn, I think.
Wow. So once again, Faramir is pressuring with like anytime a Grommash comes up, he's dead.
Yeah.
Really good. One piece of the combo at least for Kunzi. That's gonna be important later on. Execute would be pretty good, but then Shield Slam is also pretty good already. Wow! That is very smooth. That is really smooth. Wow. Just shield slam and just use your axe charge and just play Sylvanas. Like, it's pretty insane. You could also just axe charge and play your own Dr. Boom. But
Yeah.
I definitely do like the Sylvanas play a lot. That is insane. Cause like what can Druids do against Sylvanas? They don't. They just stare it down, and they go like, okay, I guess I can't do anything.
Yeah. Faramir is definitely looking at the same options here, but I agree with just getting rid of that body when you can. I guess he's concerned that that's his only clear that he has now, like single target.
No,
hand?
no. He's just double checking if that's the play you want to make. I guess in tournaments you do want to like think your turns a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but this is just so good. It's too good.
And there you go.
Like it's just too good.
There's the bombs, yeah, and then Sylvanas on an empty board, and already down to 14 health for Kunzi.
Right. I guess Faramir was going through the motions of like, okay, do I have a Grom activator? Yeah, I do. I have 2 activators, right?
Right.
I have no more Despite, but it doesn't really matter. Like Sylvanas just
double
insane.
checking everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean now you can't even just go for the rag, right? Because that's
You can't go for anything. That's why.
Yeah.
That's like the card to beat Druid with. It's funny because if it was the other way around, if Druid played the Sylvanas against the Warrior, then usually they get they're okay with like no board, right? They usually shield slam it or execute it and whatnot, right? But if you play Sylvanas into a Warrior that has some board, then that's actually a problem. So it's kind of like flipped around, right? All these sneaky things that of course all the pro players are aware of. Just wants to give you the edge. That's why Sylvanas is really important right now in the meta.
Yeah, and Druid of the Claw is the only play that will resemble doing something on the board for Kunzi, but
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he's removing it because
Yeah, and I agree with that. Given Kunzi's hand and the state of the game right now,
right.
Just taunting it. There was so many other options that it would also just get cleared quite easily.
Well, very easy Dr. Boom, and yeah, once again, even though Faramir is like out of cards, for example, anytime he draws Grommash is a win, right? So he has he just needs to stall for more turns. I'm definitely want to be in Faramir's position more because, I mean, it looks like the Druid can only kill you in a matter of like what, 4 turns maximum, a minimum, I guess. So you have 4 turns to draw Grommash, and while you're not drawing Grommash, you're drawing things like Shield Maiden. You have your Brawl in your hand, so you can like stall for the longest time.
Yeah, and Kunzi cleared 1 boom bot with that one and took 4 to the face, so that also doesn't feel too good. The BJ's doing its job, but I think we're just looking at things getting grimmer.
That is unfortunate. Unfortunately, the boombot didn't hit the correct target. He does keep the an activator, which is good. Oh wow!
And there it is.
There it is. Yep. So that's
that should be game.
Should be game if we don't see anything good. Oh, here's an extra chance to draw something good. But I mean, you can't even get a taunt, right? I mean, the Shredder could pop a taunt, for example, but that doesn't even work because you have roll and execute.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to figure out what he could draw that could make it better.
He could draw Druid of the Claw, but then he needs the Shredder to pop a taunt up. So that's a lot of things. That's a lot of requirements. Actually, no, he doesn't die now. So he can trade the Shredder, he can keep up the Grove, and he can hero power. Right? He already knew his opponent used 2 of the Taskmasters already.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Can't actually die. So yeah, that keeper actually saved his life.
That's true, because it'll only go up to right up to the steps of a victory for Faramir, but not quite there.
But yeah, once again, the problem is still here, right? Even though Faramir is not using the Grommash combo, he's still playing down stuff, and you still have to deal with those stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you do here, Chobra, if you're Kunzi?
I mean, at this point, I think it's time for the rag to come back out. I mean, you had to skip it out against the Sylvanas, but I mean,
So far,
Kunzi's actually been hoping for a YOLO turn, right? He's just been hoping for one.
Oh my god! Like so far, the 100% of the games have been Ragnaros, right?
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, if this hits as a GG,
And
and I can't see it in the screen yet.
drum roll.
Oh, that's GG.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh well. Well, Kunzi's rag, not up to play today.
no, definitely not.
Well, so as you were saying, I mean, as we're wrapping up game two, the Warrior got one game done, now 2 wins for Far remaining games, and the players have jumped right in. There we go, on time of game three, and it is indeed Paladin going up against Faramir's remaining Warrior, still standing strong.
So we see Kunzi's hand is really good. He might have mulliganed already because if you start with that hand, that's insane. But Faramir here, choosing not to keep the Despite, which is pretty interesting. I would have kept the Despite. Oh wow, that was Kunzi's starting hand, and he
Wow, and he mulligan.
mulliganed the Algor Crease here. That's fine. I mean, it depends on whether you want to go for a faster or slower play. And wow, with the Quartermaster, this is going to be very dangerous for Faramir already. So it's going to be a shield and mini bot next turn, and then the turn after that it's going to be muster and then the Quartermaster. So that's what Faramir is facing. Wow! Oh man, okay. This is pretty
could get
dicey.
gross. Yeah.
It's super dicey. Oh man. Because the shield and mini bot play right now is like so insane. Oh, okay. Alkalier Pain is a little bit of a, what's that called?
I guess relief. It's a little
Relief,
bit of a for relief for Faramir. The knife juggler there too, with both musters in hand, so at least one of them probably going to be safe to pair up with that. Now with the acolyte there.
That was the term. Consolation prize.
Oh, consolation prize is what you were looking for. See,
I was like, every time
I think that's really fitting.
Yeah, like you can't think of a term, you can't go to sleep. Does that happen to you all?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Sometimes it's just on the tip of your tongue, and you got to figure it out.
But like, Kunzi is deciding whether to muster. No, I mean, like, isn't this a snap muster play? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to figure out if there's a better way to go about things. But no matter what you play, you're going to give minimum 2 draws to the acolytes. You might as well muster and use your weapon to get rid of that. And then I guess you'll get rid of the Divine Shield and the mini-bot. But again, you have that Quartermaster in hand.
Right.
I don't see too big of a concern there.
I mean, obviously, it kind of sucks to give your opponent 2 draws off the Acolyte. So the Acolyte was like an insane Arcane Intellect. But I think it's still fine. The second Acolyte, not going to do too much work here. And, I mean, he thinks he's going to do a lot of work, but it's actually going to get punished by Quartermaster.
100% coin, Quartermaster, and then next turn, still a couple things lined up for Kunzi. Things are looking a lot better for Kunzi than they have in the first 2 games.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the starts you want with a Paladin, to put early game pressure like this. And Faramir did shake his head a little bit. Because that is pretty disgusting when this happens in turn 4.
Okay, well, Sledge Belcher and the axe in hand, so he's going to go with the axe, just wants to get rid of those things. Execute going to be used on 1 too, because
yep, you do need
muster for battle around these days. Yeah, that's probably a big enough threat to use that card.
And yeah, Kunzi didn't see a brawl, so I wouldn't mind him just doing more stuff. He did draw a Shredder, and that's better. But if he didn't draw a Shredder, I wouldn't mind if he just kind of went all in with the Knife Juggler and Muster. That's perfect. But Shredder is definitely a better play because now his board is not going to go anywhere. Despite is a bit too it didn't come in time.
Yeah, I mean Faramir, he wants to get rid of that token, but that's going to bring him down even lower. He has a Shield Maiden and a Belcher, but You can't combo like either of those with any other card with the mana he has right now. So
Yep, I think you definitely have to use your resources here. You're gonna die with a lot of resources in hand, right? So you just have to like go for it.
I mean, 7 already on board for Kunzi, 7 damage. So I think
But yeah.
Faramir's trying to decide what the least damage he'll take is, and he's just gonna take the Quartermaster out.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty gross doing this, but you kind of have to, right? The other play would have been really bad. Like Shield Maiden would have been like, really bad because now your Shield Slam is like dead again, right? Kind of have to guarantee. Wow, look at this. Look at this board. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That juggle as
And he
well.
gets the hit too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Kunzi gets this one. And it was
Yeah,
more
but-
expensive this time too.
Yeah, on Faramir's end of things, obviously this game itself is a little frustrating, but hey, you got 2 wins with the Warrior, so hopefully he doesn't let it get to him too much. Getting rid of that
Oh wow.
Juggler, and we're at 14 health. You have the Muster and the Quality.
Well, lucky for Kunzi, he's starting to draw bad now and didn't draw bad early on, right? I mean, Paladin, you actually might even draw bad. Because like drawing bad means you're drawing normal, right? If you're drawing like stuff, you lay on hands too early. There are definitely quite a lot of dead draws. Like you see, this is a kind of a dead hand, right? But you already established so much damage early on that I think you can muster here safely.
Yeah.
You need to count for something like Harrison every time you muster, but even if your opponent Harrison's now, it's a done deal. Your opponent plays Brawl, he can't really clear everything. Wow, he uses Equality as well to actually clear the 5-1.
Okay.
Pretty insane. Nope, that's not the card to do it. And yeah, I think Kunzi
I
is
think that's it. This is Belcher. And then another Equality in hand, so the Belcher really not gonna help him out here.
Right. Well, I mean, Faramir's warrior deck is definitely not tailored to beat something like a Paladin.
Right.
I mean, if you are tailoring a warrior deck to specifically beat something like this, you will have like unstable ghouls and stuff like that. But that's only beating one matchup. So, winning 2 games in the whole series with warrior already, it's like a fine thing. Kunzi will. Well, I mean, we're looking at the next game already, right? I mean, hopefully we can get something like good starting hand against something like a druid. I believe Faramir is gonna start druid next turn. Next game.
All right. Well, as Kunzi wraps up that one, finally some light for Kunzi in this match. Gets a win and trailing 1-2 against Faramir. But Faramir he looked a little bit just disgruntled at this game itself. But again, you got 2 wins with your warrior, so we'll see how he feels as he goes into the next one. He should like what you said about the shaman though, because you know that the Prius is going to be the only deck left. So on the other side, and it is going to be shaman.
Oh whoa! There's a Cogmaster.
Oh wow!
This is a new shaman I haven't seen before. It's gonna be interesting. All right.
And I'm fairly certain Kunzi hasn't mulliganed yet. So we'll be looking at that here. Yeah, there we go. Kunzi's mulligan just happened. He got a Knife Juggler in return.
And yeah, Cogmaster opening is pretty interesting. Because anytime you have something like a mech to follow up, it's basically a Flame Imp that doesn't hit yourself. So Cogmaster was one of those cards that I thought was really bad when I looked at it. But it's actually pretty insane, right? If you treat it as like a Flame Imp, and every Zoo deck plays Flame Imp because it's insane.
Yeah, and out of all the mechs you could get on turn 2 for that Cogmaster, that Annoyatron's really gonna help out with the taunt. You have the Rockbiter weapon too, so even if the Juggler comes out to kind of just threaten trade, I think Faramir is gonna deal with that quite efficiently.
Right. You can even use the Rockbiter weapon, for example. But whoa!
Yeah.
Interesting. Using not to use the Knife Juggler there. It's gonna get rewarded actually. Very nice.
Alright, so Kunzi trying to think a little bit ahead.
Now there's definitely something weird with Cogmaster, I remember. Like when you reversing switch a Cogmaster, it actually loses the buff. So I
Oh
actually think
yeah.
that if you outdoor a Cogmaster, it actually loses its buff. That's really weird, right? There is definitely a
Huh.
bug with a Cogmaster that's really weird.
Yeah,
I don't think Blizzard fixed it yet. So yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah, I do. Where the switching the health value itself doesn't seem to continue the buff itself. It just
Right.
actually brings it back to a flat value. But either way, we won't see that happening because he's just gonna go ahead and trade that board, bring himself back up with the zombie chow.
Yeah. By the way, that's the one of the reasons where that I don't play Cogmaster because I can't. It's not logical, uh,
Yeah.
and I don't like cards that aren't logical.
Yeah, no, no, I hear you, man. Even if you know that it's going to happen, you could play around it, but if it feels a little bit counterintuitive, then as a player, sometimes that can just be unnerving.
I mean, there are a lot of cards that are also like you can actually piece things out, right? For example, if you mirror entity a echoing ooze, then you also get the echo effect. Like you can kind of like picture that happening, but you can't picture what happens with Cogmaster.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
All
Aldo
right.
on the
Well,
Shredder here is really smart. Because now your opponent needs to make a bad trade to get the Death Rattle effect. Otherwise, it's just gonna sit there. So, choosing to the Spider Tank instead. Um,
okay.
yeah, I'm definitely a bigger fan of the Aldoing the Shredder instead. But I think if he didn't do that, then the Spider Tank will trade very cleanly with the Aldor, which is something we
Right.
want.
Yeah, so now this, at worst, worst case, it's going to trade, at least with what's on board, just a Shredder for Shredder trade. And
Wow! Rolling
Zap-O-Matic comes in.
Zappomatic, yeah, deserves a deck slot too. That's really just. Oh, we're gonna see two random stuff. Okay. I guess Faramir got the better end of things. I mean, Mana Addict is probably not that good.
Yeah. It's definitely a card that can throw you off a little bit, though. Especially
Right.
if, for instance, if Kunzi had the cards to work with it, which right now we don't really see, but
Paladins don't use spells. They only use
yeah.
Muster. What's concentrate, and that's about it. Uh, so Faramir's gonna hold back on the spinning up, and that's actually gonna get rewarded because pretty sure Consecrate is gonna come out here.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. I mean, you get rid of both the Cogmaster and the Pyromancer cleanly. You'll also get the Addict buff, so we'll see if he uses the Addict to clear the tank. Yep. Since that will always revert back to 1 damage.
But we see a Fire Elemental here. So it's actually a bit better to use the Aldo to trade, funny enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In this sense.
Okay, so actually this is pretty good. So you can actually use the Muster to clear the Fire Elemental. Very weird interaction that you don't see every day with the Mana Addict.
Yeah, the Mana Addict.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I guess Kunzi is actually sitting very pretty here with the Consecrate. That was a big swing. Was a really big swing. Man, Mech Shaman. I mean, I'm expecting Pyromaces. I'm expecting double Pyromaces for Faramir.
All right. Now, a Coghammer in hand for Kunzi, too. I'm wondering if, what else he's running through here, if he wants to try to use a charge on the Coghammer or whatnot.
Oh no. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I feel like that just allows the Fire Elemental to
Oh,
get favorable trades or damage to face.
oh
And probably
no.
just getting rid of the Addict or something like that here.
That's not the play I like. Man, the Mana Addict could have got so much value. Like, Mana Addicts usually do not get value at all. Right? It just sits there and dies. But, oh no. Wow. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, well,
Even
get rid of that.
Oh.
Yeah, that actually allowed Faramir's plays to be a little bit more just
Yeah,
quite
Faramir just
simple.
came back
And
to
his Fire Elemental is still alive.
Oh. So now Kunzi is in a little bit of trouble now. I guess you could kind of force the Cog Hammer on the Lotheb, right?
Mhm.
Just trade in both your creatures first. But then you can't really trade them nicely.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, with the true silver, you can clear the big bodies, and take damage to face, but you'd also be intentionally giving the heal from the Chow also over to Faramir. So
Oh, you have to kill the zombie shell right now. You have to.
yeah, either way, you'd have to. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure which is the lesser of two evils here for Kunzi.
Oh, how about this? You play the Cog Master and you call it the Cog Hammer, I mean, and then you change it to the True Silver. Oh yeah, he's
Okay,
doing it
well,
the way around too, right? I'm
yeah,
pretty sure he's doing that.
I would think so.
Ooh.
We're not just gonna go straight for the trade.
Oh man, like you could have Cog Hammers for the free for kind of like a free 5/5, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess you value your weapon a lot, but
Mm.
man, like with those weird plays, I'm not really sure I agree with all of those. But now
Mm.
Faramir is definitely way ahead.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because now you're way ahead. Like you are losing so bad, and now you're way ahead.
Well, it changes on a dime sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, armor plating is better used on the 4/4. I guess you could go with Lothab. I don't like Lothab too much though. I would have preferred the totem, Sapomatic, and also the armor plating on the 4/5 instead.
Yeah. I mean, now it's a clear trade for the Tinkertown,
Alright.
but
Yeah, both of these players are playing pretty fast, and this Cog Hammer is not gonna be useful because you're against a shaman, right? I mean, you can't do that against a shaman. It just gets hexed and earthshocked.
yeah. And we do see the Hex.
Right. A Tauntaun could be pretty big here.
Absolutely, especially with the Zapomatic in hand. Is he gonna get it? He gets it.
Oh, there you go.
And
Well, I mean, Black Knight has something to say about that, but still, like, I mean, from Faramir's perspective, Taunt Totem is exactly what he needed.
he also has equality, so there's some ways to go through this, but
Does decide to go with equality.
yeah, and goes through all of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Flips the whole board. That's good.
All right, and he's the one left for the 4/5.
Yeah, both players have been playing this matchup really quickly. Really, really
Yeah. Now it's up to the draws.
quick. It's kind of like a top decking game. And
Yeah.
yeah, Kunzi has a better wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's
Well, if it's a game of draws, why not draw
good.
3, right?
Yeah, oh man. I think Faramir's gonna lose this one just based on this one. Like, that one judge is
Yeah.
still... Like, they were neck and neck, I think. Maybe if Faramir draws something like a... Oh my god. Faramir needs
And the
to Lightning
Quartermaster,
Storm
too.
so fast. Like, Faramir needs a Lightning Storm. He's
Yeah,
dead.
there's no way to go out of that because the Quartermaster with the muster is there.
Yeah, and Mech Shaman doesn't have that kind of thing, you know? You don't have card draw. You don't have, like, a lot of wiggle room. Oh man. This is painful to watch now.
Yeah.
This is very painful to watch.
Yeah, I think, and Faramir, I think, kind of knows that he's just trying to hang on to that last thread, but it's not really gonna come through.
And yeah, I mean, you can just I mean, if you're really scared of Lightning Storm, then you don't have to use the muster. But I mean, your opponent really has one card. You can do it.
Yeah,
And I
I
think
mean,
you Quartermaster immediately too. It's just so you know, just so you get that
Exactly.
one thing. Oh wow, playing really slow. Okay. Why not?
okay, all right.
I guess you can go both ways of that. And that, yeah, this is the problem of Mech Shaman, is that the card draw is a problem.
Yeah, you were just sitting on 2 dead cards now.
Like I'm pretty sure if you're running this kind of deck, you need like two gnomish inventors or like a mixture of Adrix and stuff like that. It's much more different than a mage, a mech mage, right? Because that's what you compare it to. Mech mages have the blast mage, which actually deals damage to the board, and also have like the ping that deals damage to the board, right? Shaman, you kind of play a little bit more defensively because Power Mace is like the card you really want early on, and the later you get it, the more you can't really, do anything about it. And Crackle is kind of like the fireball that doesn't really fireball. So it's the fireball that's not a fireball.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to do that. Definitely not. I've been playing around Mech Shaman myself, and I've never got it to work. And this time it's not going to work as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, and for Kunzi, his draws have just been rewarding him for saving that muster, because now, he's threatening Lightning Storm. He has pretty much equal damage anyway than if he had used that combo. Just gonna drive it home here.
Yep, that is pretty much GG. The quartermaster has too much burst. Just the power mace was too slow.
Yeah, he got it there at the very end. I mean, the taunt totem will slow one thing out, but yeah, he's just using all his cards because the game is over with lethal on board. Well played from Faramir, and Kunzi climbs right back in with 2 wins in a row with Paladin. Because given the first couple games, it looked like Faramir was just going to do so well, given that his warrior did so well, but now we're going to look at another mirror matchup, Paladin versus Paladin.
Yeah, definitely a correct choice by Faramir here. But yeah, whoever wins this is also really ahead. But then we've been like, it's been over everywhere, right? I mean, Paladins get 2 wins, Warriors getting 2 wins. It's been interesting.
And very slow hand here for Faramir after his mulligan.
Oh, Kunzi is like really valuing his pilot shredders every single game. Like, he doesn't want to mulligan it. We see that he was thinking about mulliganing or not, but he gets it back, so he should be pretty happy about that. He's like, yes, I got it back.
The zombie chow comes out. Yeah, and we saw that, him trying to save that shredder, it really didn't do much work previously. But this time, I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. He mulliganed, he got it back, and doesn't get to play anything else anyway.
But now, yeah, Faramir has a great start. Usually with Paladin, whoever has the better start usually wins the game. Cockhammer is going to be forced to be played as a 2 or 3, which is actually perfectly fine. I mean, it's like a 3 mana Stormforge Axe. Stormforge Axe is 3 mana anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Yep. And because there's a zombie chow on board too, you'll get your health back.
So now it's actually Kunzi has a better board position here with a shredder and a weapon. And yeah, Faramir is like doesn't have a very interesting play here. Oh,
well, with the
that's something, right?
That's been the theme so far here today.
Oh, a 2/2.
That's
it's not the most insane. I guess you have to kill your opponent's shredder and see what pops up with the weapon, of course. Hopefully you get like a. Wait, are there any 1/2s? No, there's 1/1s with Captain's Parrot and like Novice Engineers. Right? So those are the bad ones. Even if you get like a 3/2, you can trade with the 2/2, so that's not bad. Follow-up play, probably muster, to be honest.
Seems reasonable. Yeah, because the zombie chow not going to do much right now, and if you already hit with the weapon, there's no point in putting your true silver down either.
Right. And I think, well, okay, do you like the minion trade of the shredder, or do you want the weapon trade for the shredder?
I want to say the weapon, just because, like you said, I mean, the chance of something coming up that can save your minion from one more turn is there, but he's just going to go with it. And the result is that I guess it wouldn't have really mattered.
Oh, wow. Interesting attack there. Just setting up for the muster. If Kunzi feels like he needs to play a little bit more aggressively and just not play around Consecrate to get the board lead. And
Oh.
that is
Oh.
Initiation of Lore on crack. On turn 5. On turn 5, you get double issue of lore, right? That is
Wow.
no. That is disgusting. That should not be allowed.
And he gets another draw from that too. The loot hoarder.
Oh
9 cards in hand.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh man.
And now he's got kind of everything lined up. He has the Muster, he has the Quartermaster, Dr. Boom, Tyrion, leading for the later portion of the game.
Wow! Wow, that is exact card he needed. I was like thinking of what he could possibly draw is instead of consecrate to actually. Oh my, this is just disgusting. Good job,
Yeah.
Faramir. You are a god.
Things have been going quite well for him today. The rags haven't been hitting him. He's been getting the
Wow.
cards he needs. And he gets 2 hits with the juggle, which is pretty, it's pretty hard to miss that with 3 of them coming out, so.
Yeah. Don't you just want to vomit like that? I just want to vomit. That is just so gross.
Yeah, well, this is kind of the position that Kunzi's been in the entire match. I feel even the games he's won.
Right?
It's like you just have to hang on to hope,
Oh my
and then
god.
maybe 1 or 2 cards.
And you're facing not one quartermaster but 2 quartermasters.
That's true.
This is not happening, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Well, and a Captain Greenskin.
Oh yeah, definitely very interesting. I mean, use Captain Greenskin on an Ashbringer? That is pretty insane.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, there's so many weapons you have, especially even with the Light's Justice here with Muster for Battle. It's gonna get you some decent value, so that's definitely a pretty cool card to see in here.
And even Call Camera, right? So yeah, I think Captain Greenskin is actually a pretty good choice for Paladin now. Oh man. Oh, this is also very gross too. This is really gross to watch. Like, this is just bad. I mean, look at the knives. Look at all these knives that are gonna just, kill Kunzi. Oh no. I mean, Kunzi is laughing at all. He's a pretty good sport, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if it was like Reynad or something over that screen.
Well, this is game right there with the 8 extra damage on board. Wow, that is pretty disgusting.
Oh no.
And we go straight to the last step for Kunzi then.
Well, I guess he not only needs to be every time I see like a Blade Master circle opening for against a Druid, I'm pretty happy. I always see a Zombie Chow. Everything else is pretty staple. Zombie Chow is one of the cards you want to drop against the Paladin, right? It's either that or a Cleric, so you actually prevent them from hero powering. And actually, I was streaming earlier today, and actually found out that if you actually put a Cleric at turn 1 against a Paladin, they actually have an answer now. It's Knife Juggler. Usually, yeah, before they don't have an answer to a Cleric, and that's why it's so good. But now the matchup is a little bit more. I mean, it's still. I think Priest still does better against Paladin, but with the Knife Juggler include, Paladin does have a better chance early game.
Yep. Power World Shield here too, so Kunzi's gonna be pretty happy with that. Taking the Knife Juggler out from the combo with the Muster also keeps your minions.
The Cleric is really good here.
Yeah, I mean, now that you've taken the Juggler out, you can just put it on the board, right? I mean,
yeah. You can definitely.
No issue in doing that.
There's no card in Paladin's deck that kills a 3 health creature at turn 3. There's actually not a single card.
So, see no reason not to do that.
No, you're floating 1 mana. You really need to pick the Cleric here.
Well met.
Like, there's no card, right?
I can't think of any.
I can't think of a card that can kill a 3 health creature at turn 3 for a Paladin. Seems pretty probable. This goes with the heal instead. Okay.
Okay. Because there are there would have been ways to get rid of, I guess, the 2 there with a weapon, but
But he's gonna feel super silly if he draws a circle. Oh, another cleric. Okay.
all right. Well, now,
Now he has this Dark Cultist, because the cleric doesn't make sense anymore.
mm-hmm. Yeah, just healing 1 turn and then sacrificing your cleric. Not ideal.
So here, Shredder is kind of like the default play.
Yep.
Let's make the attack there, which is fine. And I think double cleric is also a good play. Like holding these clerics are cool if you want more value, but this is not value for you, right? Like the main point of cleric is that it is a cantrip, right? So you're dropping a 1/3 that draws a card, right? If it's a 1/3 that draws a card, it's good enough because it's also good against paladin, because the 1/3s actually are relevant. There are a lot of 1/3 situations which aren't relevant, right? Any deck that runs a 3/2, which it makes it automatically like useless.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so he's gonna go with a double cleric.
Yeah, Faramir is forced to kill a cleric because you kind of have to. So it's basically a 1/3 that draws a card and also has taunt, which is like a lot of effects for one card, right? People have been tried cutting clerics for ages, and it's just too good. That's why you play priest. You just have to keep it.
Yeah. It's one of those staple cards in any style of that class. So got through that turn 4 fairly smoothly for Kunzi, but the Dark Cultist has also been reduced to 1 damage. So
everything is 1 health. I mean 1 damage. That's a little bit.
You have the Holy Nova, which could get decent value, I feel, here with the heals.
I think Holy Nova is definitely a very strong play here. But I mean, you could do something interesting with the Dark Cultist. You could attack the 3/3 first, and then Holy Nova to ensure your other creatures stay a bit more alive. You can also attack, there you go. You can also attack with the cleric first, to draw 1 more card. So definitely a lot of interesting stuff.
All right.
Well, oh no!
Wow.
That is a deck card. So who's winning this?
I mean, the Consecrate's there, but the Cleric is still going to be up there. Equality comes through, but not what you want to use right this instant, I don't think.
Well, we're just going to wrap things up. It's just better. It's just cool to see what other cards Kunzi is running. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is actually great for us, right? Because he's just drawing as many cards as possible. So.
Right. I mean, Dr. Boom is also ran in the priest deck, which is fine. Dr. Boom is good in all decks.
Yeah. Now, he drew the Thought Steals early, and he's at 10 cards. So, if he wants to start to make some nice moves, he's gonna have to jump down some cards here pretty quickly.
You can basically go all in every single turn and not run enough cards. It's just the magic of priest. If you can draw more than 1 card of the cleric, like you just win the game immediately.
Well, the Belcher's there, the Blade Master's there, and then you could heal it, but then you'd be back up to 10 cards, so you'd have to put the, what I think, that's a Zombie Chow. You can't see the image there covered up, but yeah, it is.
Okay, dropping the Belcher before the buff. That's pretty good.
Yeah, trying to get it on the Belcher. Doesn't get it, but that's alright.
And double Zombie Chow. Very good. Very, very good. Oh wow, okay, so that's something you can activate the Watcher with. So the Watcher is not a tech card anymore.
Yeah. And of course, the green skin in hand will be able to help more with that later, but still you can't get rid of the Belcher if you do that play, so.
But you still do it because like a Watcher is like you need to use it, and that's something. It's a Swoonwalker now basically. Which is pretty good. Make a 2 drop, a 6 drop. Not bad at all. Oh wow! Okay, this is a lot of that.
I was gonna say I think Kunzi's just like banking on that because he's drawn so many cards too. And he had a taunt, so there was no point in not putting the Chow there. And the chances of him drawing, which I assumed he had to Organize. I mean, if you have the Blade
Right.
Master, you probably have the Circle. Uh,
Well, I mean, you can always just drop Chow, to be honest, because like you're not burning your opponent down, right? Priest doesn't have
Yeah,
burning, and you know, some weird stuff. But hey, Arcanine and Holy Fire as well. It's pretty insane.
well, now that Watcher's, I guess, also a decent target for the Vol'jin.
Mhm.
I was gonna say that kind of sits there for the 5 health.
So now here's the part where if you kill the girl, you're not really that unhappy. I guess it can just stay on the board because like it's not gonna backfire on you.
Mm.
Wow, still drawing cards. Why not? I guess. Why not?
Huh?
So is that no? We don't really know yet. Don't really. We only seen one Cabal, right? So far it's
Yeah.
just. So yeah, Kunzi doesn't even mind using the zombie child to trade there, just because health
Yeah.
is not relevant. It's all about board in Paladin versus Priest matchup.
Yeah. The Vol'jin gets cleared with the combo there with the Consecrate, though, so that's good news for Faramir. But the card advantage is still so in favor
Mhm.
of Kunzi. Now he's going to have answers for every turn as we near 10 mana.
Ooh. Can we do something funny with green skin? No.
Not immediately at least.
Yeah,
So.
heroes do not have Wind Fury, unfortunately. Ooh, okay.
Okay.
So Faramir would have looked pretty silly if that bomb actually killed the 3/3 that was going to attack. Yeah, I think Doctor Boom is. Everybody says Doctor Boom is just a really bad card because it's like an auto include to everything, right? One of the redeeming features of Doctor Boom is that you do have to play around it, and sometimes it is a pretty big puzzle to play around that card. So
Yeah.
it does reward better players, I guess, if you can plan the bombs ahead of time.
Good point.
One of the more redeeming qualities of that card, I guess. But it's still pretty OP. That's all.
Well, that's the thoughts too, and I think he got a Sylvanas off of that, if I'm not mistaken here. I didn't catch the image as it floated into his hand, but I don't think that would have made the biggest difference given the state of the game already. And
What's
a
mind
mind
control
control
as
too.
well? Oh my
Wow.
god. How is this deck gonna go against Druid? Like, oh jeez. This deck against Druid is gonna be a very uphill battle. Like, very big uphill battle.
Well, so far it looks like he's at least gonna get a chance, right, to go up against the Druid. So
Oh no
I
no
think
no
that's
no!
the best.
He's getting his Druid match. There's no way he's not getting his Druid match.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at 10, 9 cards up against 2 cards, and you're up in health, and you can clear the board. I mean,
No. So the way Kunzi loses right now is that there's a power outage suddenly, you know. Or maybe his friend comes in and like presses concede for him or something. Like it's just have to be something ridiculous. There's no way you're losing this one. There is no.
he uses his Cult Master that he stole for even more card draw because he hasn't had enough this game.
No. Gotta draw the whole deck. Achievement unlocked before before beating your opponent. So, if I am Kunzi, I'm gonna try really hard not to show the mind control.
Yeah.
But then I guess it doesn't matter because this is Druid. They don't really care if you have mind control or not. So, you definitely don't show the Sylvanas death. I mean, you can't really do that anyways. So, yeah, just mind control.
Might as well. That's just gonna make this game easier to clean up and bring out the concede there from Faramir.
And there you go. Well, that's what happens when and like still start with the same amount of cards, like 4 cards at the starting hand. Because like
Yeah, that's definitely been something of discussion and thought since the beginning, right? Because you get 4 cards plus the coin, and that feels like a lot you're giving just because you're starting second.
Right? No, I mean,
Uh,
one of the reasons is because like if you're playing a combo deck and you're playing first, it's really really difficult because you do need that starting hand. You do need the starting knowledge, right? I mean, if you're going first, you can still start 4 cards, but I still want to be able to mulligan 4 cards.
mm, yeah, that could be interesting. I
Right?
see what you're saying there.
Yeah. Ooh, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Now, you're probably losing a 2-3 unless you just power shield and pass, which is actually pretty reasonable, I think. There are actually a few ways to go around this. Okay, like you can actually hit the mech warper with the zombie chow. You could hit the face and guarantee a draw next turn, but then your click does die after the turn after that. So I guess you really want to play on the probabilities. Does my opponent have a turn 2 play? Just basically what? A spider tank, a harvest golem, spider tank and or harvest golem. Mm.
Yeah.
Pretty hard turn, actually. I
Well,
think no matter what, you do start with the powered shield on the zombie child.
yeah, you want to see the draw out here.
Right? It does go for face, so it does value the card draw that's coming up a bit more. Lucky for him, we're gonna see a Wrath for Faramir, so he doesn't have to deal with any more card draw. So now Kunzi has to have a pretty weak turn 3 play, actually. It's pretty weak.
Yeah, there's really not much you can do. So he's actually just gonna go for Thought Steal.
Yeah, and he's actually gonna get punished by that. Pretty hard with the Yeti. Because if he did decide to play like something like the Blade Master, Faramir had to have one more turn to develop, so tiny punishment there. And wow, Innervate and a Cabal Shadow Priest.
Yeah,
That
he
could be
stole the
great.
Innervate.
Yeah, I mean, Cabal Shadow Priest is pretty dead against a Druid. You actually made it good. I think, what's another play? Another play would be actually to innovate a Blade Master Healer.
Okay. Personally, I'm kind of liking the Innervate Cabal. Like you said, there's not too many targets, and then you also, not only taking a body out, but you're taking out that reduced mana cost on anything
Right.
else that could be coming out. So, and then of course a 4/5 to go up against the 4/5 on the Yeti, I think seems pretty reasonable.
Well, I mean, lucky for I don't know if it's lucky, but there are no such thing as like a turn 5 mechs, right? Turn 5 mechs usually aren't temple based because like anti-Killbot, Blingtron, those are not really temple based. But yeah, innovate the heal here. That's pretty good. It's pretty sick.
All right, and gets the draw. And Vol'jin.
Fulgin not too insane. Faramir now has to pick between Wrath or dropping a creature, and I think Wrath is pretty sweet here, especially you get a clean kill off the Blade Master. Blade Master is really the only threat that the priests have against druids anyways. So yeah, I like to see a Wrath here. Just clean enough cleanly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So now over at Kunzi's side, it's probably gonna be a Vol'jin play.
Okay.
So that's yeah. One of the things
hmm.
that's funny is because there's a lot of pro players that say Vol'jin is like the top legendary or something, but I really don't think so. Like, it's really situational. You need to be able to play around it really well. And wow, not using the Vol'jin like that, very interesting.
Hey, he's putting a lot of value into the Vol'jin, I think, trying to look for something, like a bigger play, I guess. But and he does have the Holy Nova, so that if something else comes out, he can still clear the Yeti, and both will get a spare part.
Right, but yeah, Lothar is really smart here.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I like that play. And looking pretty problematic for Kunzi right now. Now you definitely.
I mean, I guess Vol'jin's kind of the thing to do again, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really agree with the Spider Tank last play. Like, you're just throwing a creature out to die, so you're basically using a Spider Tank for deal 3 damage and heal 3 damage, right? So, Not really a big fan of that play. Yeah, Fortune definitely has to come down here. And Faramir can just extend the board. He can also go, well, it's kind of weak to Holy Nova, so I think he will trade and put, for example, the Sky Golem down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too weak to Holy Nova. As a Druid player, you really want to hit the face as much as you can. But that's good. Turn 7 is okay. Yeah, that's fine. We'll see what
Okay, yeah.
happens. And we got some assortment of cards, I guess.
Yep, the BGH, the Shredder, and then a spare part there.
Hmm.
Looks like both players got the time rewinder. See if anything
And
opens up.
Keep the Grove here is like D play. Although Faramir is kind of deciding whether or not to lose to Pokeball, but then you don't really lose to Cabal, right? Because even if Cabal drops down, your Sky Golem will hit 2 times by then, and it's like a high main. And you
Yeah.
know about the high main rule, right? If you hit the face, yeah. So there you go. Faramir had the Sky Golem rule.
And the Holy Nova's still there with the Pyromancer to clear rather the Sky Golem. But yeah, it's always been awkward because you can't entirely clear the board of Faramir, and that's one of the big things about the Druids here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can Pyromancer and Shadow Madness here. That's pretty strong. That's actually really strong. Oh my god. That's
Oh
actually
yeah,
insane.
with the Shadow Madness you could clear and then
Yeah.
Hmm.
That is actually quite insane. I thought he didn't have an answer to deal with it, but then he already had Pyromancer and Nova. But now Pyromancer, Shadow Master is a little bit more enticing.
Yeah, I mean you'll still get the Death Rattle on the Golem, but
Wow, I think Kunzi is actually stabilizing. Very nice.
no, Faramir doesn't have too much to actually play in the coming turns in his hand right now.
Well, we'll see what this is. It could be really bad. Like 4 drops
Yeah.
could be really volatile. And oh, wait, what? Did he just kill a keep of? What? Okay, I guess it's back for action.
Oh man.
Okay. The guy, I cannot beat Shadow Man. But definitely not the 4 drop that Faramir. I think he's looking for something like the ideas.
Yeah. I mean he can just flood the board with the Shredders here, but
Oh, I think you do that, yeah.
yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't. Obviously, the concern is you only have your spells left in your hand, but that's not something you can change this turn. So,
Oh man. What? Kunzi will die for his spell power. Just die.
yeah,
Cabal's gonna be used here, not the worst. Faramir could pretty much seal the deal with like a Savage Roar because that's just so much damage, right? That's just too much. Savage Roar, you win the game. Just
yeah. It's 10, 16, 18 plus a
that's
swipe.
like, how many Keep of the Groves have played this game? I feel like it's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like we've been seeing them quite often, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, Faramir's just gonna clear off the other side.
Right. He might be tempted to time rewind the Keeper of the Grove, but that's definitely not the correct play. You do want to kill stuff with it.
Yeah.
So killing the zombie child as well. It's pretty safe. Ooh, Belcher is very strong.
That's gonna help him try to fish for another stabilization turn here for Kunzi.
Alright.
Going into turn 10.
A Savage Roar. Is this still lethal? 14. Not quite. 14
No,
plus
yeah.
a maximum of 216. No, not quite. Wow, this is going down to quite the wire, huh?
Yeah, it's actually not exactly what we would expect, especially with the starting too, right?
Right.
Seemed a little bit rough for Kunzi, but he's found a way to climb back in the other games in this match, so we'll see if he can. He definitely has more options on hand. And yeah, he's gonna... Now the board's not gonna always be in favor of Faramir, I feel. We just saw a swipe too, and BGH not gonna do much for him. He's gonna fish for a draw.
Yep. And what are you going to get? Well, that's not what you want to see. So Let's trade.
Oh, we'll see what you
Let's
get.
make a trade.
Shredder.
I mean, Millhouse would be Jin. Succubus would be pretty good too. And oh, that just confuses the heck out of both players. What do you do?
I
That's
think so. Faramir was
really,
looking at the time rewinder, so I think what he's looking to do is clear off
but
token and
that
then.
doesn't make sense, right? Huh, this is actually a.
Oh,
I
wait.
think this Doomsayer is actually better for Faramir here because now
Yeah.
Kunzi can't drop anything. And no. Oh wait.
No, I would.
Oh,
I
he's
would.
gonna see the Shredder as well. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, because nothing else was on board, and
Okay.
we're not
okay.
looking at big spells here for
Sweet.
Prius.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually an insane Doomsayer turn. Wow, Doomsayer is actually the best thing that could have popped out. And now Kunzi is gonna rewind it as well. That is funny.
So Doomsayer just bringing doom upon himself.
averted. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Oh man,
Doomsayer ends up killing nothing at all.
that's good.
Alright. Well,
Well,
they
I think
both
the
plays
favor
had a
still
way to
goes
do
to Faramir here because obviously he can put the minions down first. But
Exactly.
that was fun to watch.
Definitely gave both players a what do I do now kind of thing, you know? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. DC is really good here. Very, very good. Fills out the curve very smoothly. Now, Savage Roar deals is like a Savage Roar is basically a fireball, so it's not lethal just yet if he draws that. And oh my god, that is an insane card.
Yeah.
Wow.
That actually just gave some answers here for Faramir
Yep.
on what to do this turn.
2 answers even. Jeez. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's one part. Now
Yeah.
for minion trading. I don't think you can trade here. You just go face.
Yeah, I think so, especially now that you have that Force of Nature there, and we are nearing the latter portions of both decks. In fact, yeah, he's just going to go for the draw to see if he can maybe fill out the combo now, and that will definitely tell him to go face.
Alright, but even if he doesn't get the combo, he's gonna go face, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just that time. But we'll see if Holy Nova has something to say about that. I mean, you definitely start by hitting the Dark Cultist on the Shredder, so that, so that one of them gets buffed, so that you can attack the Ancient of Lore.
Yeah.
And actually keep it on the board. So that's weird. They're trading both Shredder.
Okay.
Okay, that's not really the thing you want to see. Look at Faramir's smile. Oh my god, he's so. Now, yeah, that's not really. Yeah, that was really careless. I think you should have used the Dark Cultist to trade a Shredder. Now look what happens. Look what happens.
Yeah, the Watcher gets buffed.
You get punished. Wow, that was actually really bad. Because now, even with the Clay, you don't get 2 draws. You could have get 2 draws, but now you only get 1. Oh no! This is disastrous.
And
oh man.
well, if the game's gonna be over, it's gonna be over next turn, depending on the draw here.
Yep. No man. Blade Master as well. And wow, that is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage.
Yeah, still not lethal, but
You can just go for it, I believe.
because he's just gonna excuse me.
Okay, just goes for the clear. This is the biggest Watcher I've ever seen. It's like that's basically a Zera, huh? That's a Zera.
Yeah. But it has
like
no hope to
it's-
do anything but sit there and look pretty.
Well, I mean, as a priest deck, do you really have anything to deal with a Watcher? No, you just watch it.
Yeah,
You watch the Watcher. Man.
I mean, given your health, do you Holy Fire here
You
just
need
to
to.
hang on?
You can't hang on. You need to play creatures. Just play Blade Master and Harrison and healers, and heal whatever. Like it's just Scrim anyways. You need to play creatures. You can't win on
Alright.
the foot, right? Because Holy Fire, in a sense, is like summon a Rocketeer, right? It's basically what it is, right?
Uh-huh.
Summon a faceless, Reckless Rocketeer, and this is not a card in any decks for a reason, because it's terminal, right? Minions have a chance to not be terminal because they can trade for 2 creatures. So Holy Fire is definitely, you know, I'm kind of dying play, especially
Yeah,
Holy Firing at 2/4. That's even worse.
yeah. Well, at least he, still gets the Blade Master there. It's not going to die immediately, and still no Savage Roar.
No. So
But
just
I'm pretty sure we're going to see it soon.
Well, I mean, I would
Oh,
think so.
there it is.
Oh, there it is. And, what can Kunzi draw? I mean, you can draw Argus from another deck. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So just setting up to guarantee lethal next turn, which it didn't really even need the charge there with the Ancient of Lore already down, but that is going... Yeah, even with the Belcher, right? Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, even
so.
with the Belch. Well, actually,
Because just the
no,
combo alone has lethal.
But you can't really. The Belcher is kind of weird that way, that you can't really kill nicely. But I think it's still lethal.
Yeah, because you should be able to clear it with your hero and then 2 on the board, and then you'll have
No,
6
hero
plus 6,
3,
so 12.
2. So you have 11 damage. So it's not quite lethal yet, huh?
Well, with the Force of Nature and then the Savage Roar, you should
Yeah, of
be
course,
able
of
to
course.
clear
But
the... Yeah.
pretty sure you don't have lethal. You're 1 damage. Oh, yeah, actually, no. All the trees can attack, huh?
Yeah. So already down to 10 health, so it should be.
Exactly.
And
It's exactly lethal. He needs to. Whoa! That is. Oh, that play I would have liked a bit earlier. Now it's like, yeah. But even if he healed himself, it was exactly lethal. And Innervate to top that off as well.
he's thinking about it, but I don't think we're mistaken because it should be.
Yeah, a Spider Face trades for the first
14.
half. The Spider finishes off, and then it's like all the trees, so 12 damage in the face.
Yeah.
So yeah, Faramir is gonna be your Deck Wars winner here.
All right. Well, we did go to the very end, which is not what we might have expected in the beginning. But props to Kunzi for definitely pulling through in some of these matches, and some of the games rather, and keeping it interesting to the very end. But congratulations goes out in order to Faramir after a hard-fought 4-3 win against Kunzi. First Deck Wars of 2015.
It was unfortunate because the last game, Kunzi